What's up, man?
How are you, sir?
I'm golden. I'm golden. I had to work out my son earlier. My body hurts, bro. I'm not 25 years old anymore.
Just wait until it starts getting gray, my man.
Oh, it gets gray. My wife lets me know. I get
There's,
grass
yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah.
I found a gray hair on my ankle today. That was
It
weird.
does.
I'm not even kidding. I'm
Yeah.
not kidding.
Yeah. When it starts hitting other places too, other than your face, it's just like, dude,
Yeah.
weird.
I
Yeah.
still I still power clean more than him though. I still get
There,
down.
there you go. I know you do, man. I know you do. And you're
Just
not
just
even,
not back to back days. Just today. I
and
need
you're
like a
not
week to recover.
even, and you're not even old. What are you, late 30s?
I'm
Late
39, man. I'll be 40 next year.
Okay. All right. See, so it's a piece of cake. How old am I? I just turned 43 a couple of weeks ago. And I mean, but this makes, I look 53. So
You can shave it. Hey, if you shave it, you look like these young bucks here. That's what happens.
yeah. Nope, I'm
Shave
good.
it off
I'm
and
gonna
get
leave
it going.
it. Man, I was so appreciative to connect. And hey, this is another NorCal. This is a NorCal connect. I don't live in Northern California anymore, but I know you are
Yeah.
there. You like Walnut Creek?
Yeah, Walnut Creek, Concord area, East Bay. Yep.
Okay. All right, man. Yeah. So I grew up in Vacaville.
Okay. I know where it's
Yeah.
at.
And then we were out in the East Bay. My wife grew up in Fremont.
Yeah.
We were out in the East Bay, lived in like San Ramon, Dublin, living all
Same
that.
areas, yeah.
And
Yeah.
you
So
were,
Vacaville's by Fairfield, right? Fremont's down south.
yep.
Too far
That's
away.
exactly right. And
Mhm.
you were Antioch?
Antioch.
Go
Good old
Panthers.
Antioch. Yeah. The
Yeah,
Antioch
man.
Panthers. Back. I got a jersey up here from when I played there.
That's awesome, man.
Floating up on the
Very
wall
cool.
somewhere.
Very cool.
Where's everybody else here from? Where's this group of kids from? Or
So
kids,
yeah,
men,
let
what do
me
you
let
call
me
them? Young
give
men?
you let me give you the context on this, man. We have young men from all over the world on this call.
Hey.
Yes, sir.
I
So
like it. We got some anime fans down there. My son made me watch all of Attack on Titan. All of it. It's kind of dope. He's like, want to watch Death Note? Absolutely not. I need a life. So none of that. I did
That's
watch
awesome,
Attack on
man.
Titan, man.
There's some legit stuff. So yeah, we've got gentlemen from all over, and so what we do. So I built schools right all over. Helped build schools all over the world. I built a bunch in California specifically.
Okay.
But myself and Tim Kennedy is dear friend of mine, and we decided we wanted to build this mentorship program for these young men. So these guys
Cool.
are committing to 12 months of real world challenges, projects, workouts.
Nice.
And they're getting together with the best of the best of the best every single week, yourself included. And
I like it.
so, you and I get to chat for a little bit, but then we open it up and these guys will ask all the good questions.
I like it. Do you guys have like first off, you ever heard of the Agoge?
Oh man, of course.
Have you guys talked about all they got nodding heads? Okay, beautiful. Is there a rite of passage exit for all these guys?
I'm
purely curious just out of it. Because I'm designing one for my son who's 13. I got an 18-year-old, but I got a 13-year-old son too and a daughter. But I want to have like this rite of passage thing. So I've been going through like designing my own kind of Agoge for 5 years as he gets to 18.
Oh man, we got to talk and send you some resources on this too. So there's a couple different things. We do have a live event and where we get together every year. The last live event, we kind of piecemealed this kind of an adventure challenge. We went over to American Top Team out here and did some kickboxing and things like that.
Nice.
This next year, it looks a little different because we're including the dads in with it as well. We'll be out at Sheepdog Response. There's going to be some shooting and some other physical components related for these guys too. But we also partner with like the Squire program. Are you familiar with the Squire program and Beaudreau?
Oh yeah, I know Beaudreau is. I didn't know it's called the Squire. I've heard of it. I got a buddy. What is his name? I can't think of his name. Larry Hagner's taken his boys a couple times down to it.
Man. Yeah, Larry. So I know Larry. And man, that's how I got turned on to you, was through Larry.
That might be it. Yeah.
I think that was it, man. Yeah, it was through Larry. So yeah. So Beaudreau's whole. So we do. We've got the Apogee Strong Foundation as well, and so we partner with them because I want to send as many of these guys and their dads through the Squire program as well, which is a great rite of passage kind of day. So yeah, we're on the same page, sir.
Digging it, bro.
Yeah, it's exciting, man. So if you're okay, I would love to kind of just dive into you a little bit for 15, 20 minutes. And then, like I said, we'll let these guys jump in, man. But it was Larry that turned me on because he was doing the Dad Edge Summit.
Yeah, and I was there.
And you were you going to speak?
No, I think it was a virtual one, right?
So this was the live one. a couple of months ago in St. Louis.
But it was in person. Was it in person?
There was an in-person.
That was it. Yeah, I was supposed to go, and then I was supposed to be streamed in because I couldn't physically make it there. And then some adjustment. Yes, I do recall this one.
Got it. Okay, so
I've done a couple with them. I think I've done like 2 prior to that where I've hopped on virtually though.
Got it. Okay, that's what it was. So I was in, so I went out there and I spoke at this one this last well too. And he said, I think Anthony's gonna come in. And I said, you got to show me who this is. And so I've been following, for the last few months, pretty intensely, man. And I love everything about. I love everything about your message. I love everything about your story. But we have these amazing stories, and many people have these amazing stories, but to be able to articulate the story and to be able to use the lessons learned to truly help other human beings is a different skill set. It is. And it is something that you have developed extraordinarily well, sir. So yeah, absolutely. So it's been a pleasure to watch. So I'd love to give these guys a little background, man. So we're talking,
let's do it.
We're talking foster care, right? And then going into football, and then some big things. By the way, I'm a Steelers fan. So, but so going to the Steelers, but having a life-altering injury, to Ninja Warrior, to opening a gym. You've got quite a journey, man. So
too much of weird stuff.
A whole bunch of crazy stuff. So let's go back to maybe when you are, some of these guys on here, 12, 13, some 16, 17, 18. Let's go back to Anthony at 12, 13. Who was that guy?
He wasn't a very happy dude, man. So 13, 14. So I wasn't adopted until I was 14. So at 13, I'd spent 10 years in the foster care system. Mom gave me away at 3. And so I bounced around where I was dealing with people. Just the foster care world, if you guys aren't familiar with it at all, you end up having situations where people get a paycheck to have you there. They're not really very savory people most of the time. And so some people would put me in like shopping carts, push me down hills towards moving traffic, and like do it over and over again, or like make me chase chickens to earn meals and actually not feed me if I didn't catch it. Lick the bottom of people's shoes, like weird, heinous stuff. And so that happened. And then I bounced around between 6 houses. My final house, which is currently my family, when I was the only Black person, still am, besides my brother-in-law, in an all-white family, very poor growing up. So I didn't have very much. And so there was this dynamic of never feeling like I mattered or belonged. So at 13, I also didn't know for sure if this place that I woke up is where I go to bed tonight. Like, so because I'm in foster care, you could quite literally come home to a Black Crown Victoria and a trash bag with your clothes in it. And they're going, new house for you. And you have no say. You just have to get in the car and go to the next place, not knowing if it's good or bad or whatever in comparison to where you're currently at. And so at that age, I wasn't 100% clear of what tomorrow looked like ever. And it was just, it was crazy, man. And then at 14, stood up in front of a judge. And the reason I stood in front of a judge was because I'm in a foster home, but my biological mom has what's called parental rights, which means she has say over what I can and can't do in this household, even though she's not in this household. And so I could not get adopted because of her parental rights. And so I had to go to court over all this, years of crazy at 14, because I could finally be emancipated, so to speak. And so I could finally make a choice of where I wanted to live and what I want to do with my life. And so I stood up and told her, I said, Mom, I no longer want you to be my mom anymore. And it severed her parental rights, so I could finally be adopted by this family who'd been trying to adopt me for years, but she kept stonewalling them. And so at 14, I was able to kind of sever those rights and finally get adopted. So at 14, I entered into the world for the first time. I was like, I have a home, I feel solid, and I could take steps towards my future.
Wow. So how did you make that mental shift? Because you hear that, and it's phenomenal. And thank God for that amazing family that you have. Thank God for your courage to do what you, right? That is just, it's a beautiful thing. So, but the reality is, from 3 to 14, you've got to live with that understanding of, I've got to survive in this scenario. I've got to be ready for that Crown Victoria. I've got to be ready. You've got a different kind of mindset. Now, all of a sudden, you've got a family. It's not like that just goes and changes the mindset overnight. Right?
No, it doesn't.
How was that transition for you?
It's interesting. It was more. So here's what I got to give you guys as a foundational understanding. I think one of the things that happens in our society is people are robbed of hardships. There's a painting I have on my wall. I could show you. If I flip it around, it's a picture, but it says, "Smooth seas never made a skilled sailor." And so this is one that I heavily believe, and I got a tattoo of a sailboat on my shoulder because it has meaning to me. And this is why between the age of 3 to 14, I dealt with some really, really rough seas, the ups and downs of craziness. And it was, like you said, sheer survival. There wasn't this understanding of the situation I was in was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It sucked, but comparatively to people around me, like the world I knew, like there wasn't social media. There wasn't like television the way it is now. I didn't have the ability to see other kids and their lifestyles. There wasn't Instagram where I could see a kid with his dad hanging out and, going out in the ocean, and I couldn't see things. It's just you in your confined space. And so I say that to tell you that it felt normal.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird, but like it felt normal to be broke, to be poor, to, get beaten at times. Like that felt like, I was like, that's what every kid must be dealing with at home, right? That's just what life is. Because my entire conscious life of 3 years old up, that was my experience. Mm-hmm. And so I just endured because there was no other option. If I want to still live, this is what I have to deal with. So there was this kind of hardening to that being what it is. And so because of that, it was like, I don't know, like I had this settling in of an acceptance of it. It was just as normal as we're sitting here now.
Yeah.
So I didn't see the comparison until I got to the point of actually expanding out to the world and trying new things and trying sports. And then you start seeing the separation of like, oh, I don't have anything. This kid has new cleats, new gloves, new jersey. Oh man, he's got everything. And I'm over here with some, busted up cleats and I can't even get dinner tonight. Yeah. Like then you start seeing that disparity of what's going on. So for me at that age where you go, man, how'd you handle it? Like there wasn't an option. I didn't know there was another option. It was just, this was reality to me. And so because of that, I was already hardened. So when I entered the world, those moments we run into of confrontation or discomfort or anything that feels uncomfortable, I just already had this natural like tick to this. I'm a battle. So I fight. I would get in fights often. I was argumentative. I had charisma from a sense of just having to communicate back and forth to get somebody at some point to give me food or not hit me, So you learn how to, and so then I entered the world with some skill sets that actually allowed me to be a skilled sailor.
That's right.
So now as I sit here and talk to you now, I've never done a speaking course, program, class in my life. I just over years had to learn how to talk, to communicate. Then I got entered in the football world. And if any of you play football, you understand that's a back and forth banter. You're chirping all day long. You have to, if you don't do that, bro, people are going to poke you and they're going to eat your soul. Right. So I got entered into worlds where me being hardened benefited me.
Wow. So yeah. And I fully understand that. And you are a phenomenal communicator, and that does, there is a DNA aspect, I believe, that comes in that. And I've had the chance to speak to coming up close to 300,000 people, I think, on stages across the world at this point. So there is a DNA aspect of that, but there is also the way that is honed, whether that is through professional practice or whether that is through necessity, as it was for you. So you had, we talk to these guys all the time about this being balancing the ability to be the savage, but also living as the gentleman. So
all day.
Right. So was it harder for you then to develop the
gentleman
side?
Yeah. I got in like 16 fights in 6th grade.
Yeah.
So I was also the only black kid in all white school, and I got called the N-word more times than I could literally count. It was an everyday occurrence. I was fighting kids all the time. And so there wasn't a gentleman in me because people didn't treat me positively. So I had, and in fact, to be quite honest, most of the time these things are happening, there's this callous I get for caring for anybody else. I didn't care, because like if this is how the world is, like I'm not going to care about the world. So I was just going to get mine no matter what it took. And so if you look at any prison in America, 75% of the inmates are former foster kids like me.
Yes, sir.
My, we'll call it undocumented, undata-driven analysis of that is we get really good honed skills. We just do. I can talk, communicate, and I get almost too big for my britches in my brain because I can handle stuff. And then as opposed to applying that to a positive, I'm going to start a small business or, build something or do something good. I go, I'm going to get mine from what the world took. I'm gonna give back to the world what it did to me, right? The beatings, the start, whatever that stuff. I'm gonna give it back, and so we start going out and using those skill sets for the wrong things, and so you end up getting caught, you end up getting in trouble. But the reality is the skill sets are amazing.
Yes, sir.
These foster kids, if you hang out with them, the adopt kids that are in group homes, and like they're a little off, and they're most of the time our brains have to kick on earlier than most.
Yep.
And then because of that, we learn these skills, and you can talk to them and you can tell what they're doing. I can tell what they're doing.
Yes,
and I can feel, and I go, hey, bro, you ain't got to analyze me, man. I'm just like you.
Right.
And so I say that also to go, you guys who have an experience that it is not like there's a separation between you. Here's the only difference. Hard things. That's the only difference, guys.
Mm-hmm.
In the world of foster care, we are thrust into doing hard things, the heart of navigating tough situations. In our world, my kids, they are privileged. They have everything they can imagine. We don't, for example, there's not a single Christmas present under my Christmas tree right now. My kids get anything they want damn near all year, and I don't even like that. So on Christmas, we go, look, we're not a gift-oriented family. We're going to give gifts to friends and family, but you're going to appreciate what we have. You have this amazing house. We have a $50,000 gym in the garage. Like it's too much. And so because of that, you learn to do hard things. And so me looking at my son going, I want you to have my grit. I'm not going to beat him, starve him, make him lick kids' shoes.
Right.
But it's just, I can give him his own relative hard. And if I can get my kid to we had this conversation just last night. He got in trouble for something stupid. I'm like, bro, you don't get to avoid hard. You get to choose your hard. You can choose hard right now, and it's gonna be difficult, bro. It's gonna be hard, but you subject yourself to it with community, with a dad, or I give you the easy way. You don't learn lessons, you don't get the skill sets, and you step into life, and it's harder, longer, and that harder is gonna be ending up in jail. It's going to end up with a broken relationship. You have a kid that you're not present with. It's a longer, harder hard later, or a shorter hard now. You don't get to choose whether or not, you get to choose which one.
That's right. And because that hard later hurts.
I know people that are dealing with that hard. They're going to deal with it for the rest of it. I got a buddy who has 5 kids, man, and he's battling drugs and everything now because, in my opinion, couldn't do hard things. Like even if it was hard to get sober, right? That when you can't do hard stuff, you fall apart. Your life it just falls apart.
That's right.
But if you learn to do hard things, what is hard to most people is easy.
That's right.
So people look at me, look at you, and go, bro, how do you do that? How do you hop on a stage and train how you train, and then go and speak with people? I train my wife. I'm my wife's strength coach at her college. Which is a whole other conversation. I train my son and 5 of his buddies at night. I have a whole full-time career. They go, how do you do it? And I go, I've done hard things.
That's right.
This is easy. I can do this every day. This is easy to me.
Well, like you said, it's your normal.
It's my normal because I did hard things intentionally at a certain point too.
That's right. It becomes your baseline. The very first book these gentlemen are requested to read in this program is a book called Do Hard Things. It's exactly
yeah, buddy.
Why
I like it.
Talk about the fact that these guys, the whole world has started to look down and expect less of our young men and of our use the word teenager to say, okay, well, now you're in this time of life where you can take things off. Whereas we're going, no, this is the perfect time because you don't have the correlating responsibilities yet. You don't have the marriage, you don't have the mortgage. This is the time to get nuts. This is the time to pack it in. This is the time to take things on and get at it.
Yeah, bro. And this is how you get to the point of being the guy that later on people look at and want to hang out. My phone is constantly going off. I get emails. People want to come be around me. I don't say this to go, look at me. I don't want to be around them.
Right.
I love my wife. I love my kids. I have my circle. I come hang out with great men. But there's a bubble. And the reason that bubble exists is because people want to be around the guy of who I am in some aspects because of the way I worked over the years. And so I get to live in a really peaceful place where I get to serve at a high level. I get to come here and come to talk to you guys. I get to do what I want.
Yes,
and this is because I've done hard things. But yes, now is the time for all of you when there's not a lot in the line to go and do crazy, really, but not crazy. Like obviously not crazy bad, but crazy meaning do things that most people, the average of the people your school will go, man, you're crazy, you're tripping, you're weird, bro. Like, cool. I'll be weird all I want all day long because at the back end of this 10-year stretch, 15-year stretch, it's fun along the journey still. Doing hard things gets fun. But then you wake up one day and you have the car that you really want, and you have the house you really want, and you have the income you want, but you have that with peace and a sense of pride for who you are, who you've built. And then you get to live a life, the long term, it's godly, it's fun, it's enjoyable. Like it's the middle of what a Friday. Is it Friday? I don't even know what day it is half the time. I'm in full control of my life, and I get to hang out with cool people and do this. But if I had a job that was like I didn't like, that was a hard job because I didn't do the hard stuff early of school and academics and football, I wouldn't be able to do this with you right now and have freedom in life.
Bingo. That's it. I'm writing down all these the same words before you're saying them. It's this peace. It's a peace of mind that other people don't have. You get to do what you want to do with who you want to do it with.
Yeah.
And I mean, there is a beauty and there's a freedom in there that the majority of people will forego because they want to have fun earlier.
Yeah.
Fun being relative to what is the easy route. I remember taking a group of young students some years back to a conversation. It was a gentleman who had just gotten out of prison. He had gone in for murder, but truthfully, I don't remember the story as to why he was able to get out. But he had come out, he had turned his life around. He's doing some phenomenal things with his life. And I took some of these youngsters from one of the campuses that I had built. Mm-hmm. And these young men and women were great people, but they'd grown up in a very, very privileged area. They hadn't been forced to do a lot of hard things, and we were trying to expose them to some different perspectives. So they were sitting in the crowd, they were listening to this gentleman do a phenomenal job on stage. There were also the Quintanilla kids were there, so it was a whole foster system. It was a bunch of those kids there too. Mm-hmm. So we have this day, we come back, I said, what did you guys take away? And they said, one of them says, man, you know what, it was a great story. I'm just really glad too there were all the underserved kids got to hear that, and the underprivileged. I said, you know what, I'm going to challenge you on something. I think you guys are the underprivileged. I think you guys are the ones that are not being served, because they had a chip on their shoulder and they were listening, and I could see it. I could see the body language. They were analyzing. They were looking for the patterns, because then they were going to go apply those patterns of success to their life. You guys were taking it for granted, going, okay, well, this is a cool story, but when I go home, mom and dad are going to make me dinner, and this looks a whole lot different to you. So I would argue that you guys are the underprivileged, man. And that's exactly it.
In the long run,
yes, sir. So good, man. So the football journey, did that did that help shift some of the mentality, bring in some of that teamwork? Like, what did that look like? Because you were a phenomenal high school player No,
I wasn't, and then I got good. And then it turned
into something. And then you got good. Tell me, what do you mean by that?
I was trash, man. I was horrible to football. If you guys think about it, if you play a sport, the worst kid on your team, that was me. I'm genuinely serious, because I didn't start football until I was 14, and most of my teammates, they'd all been playing for 5-6 years, right? So you're talking about 5-6 years of time with a helmet and shoulder pads and learning football and like knowing what plays are. I'm out there like, they're like, run a 2. I'm like, 2 what? 2 yards? What the, no clue, way behind the ball. And so we've all, if you haven't played football, you've done something that you realize that you really thought was being fun. I'm gonna go try to be great. And you go, oh wait, I suck at this. Yep. And you're met with this emotional pain of God, this sucks. I don't want to keep going to this. I can't play the violin. I'm not good at, weaving. I don't know, whatever. There's something we all try, and we go, man, I suck at this. And so for me, had that same moment, I was like, I suck at this. I don't want to do this anymore. My adoptive mom would get diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. And so the family was kind of focused on her and her sickness. And so I checked out. I was like, I'm done with this. I literally was like, I'm done with football. I tried 2 years. I was horrible still. And I completely gave up on the game. And I had this moment of a realization. And it happened because these 2 girls were talking without me, them not knowing I was listening to them talk. I just kind of was eavesdropping without even knowing I was eavesdropping. And randomly out of the blue, this girl goes, well, the reason I'm so bad is because I was in foster care. And I was like, ooh, it sounded real salty. It was an odd, it poked me in the heart. I was like, I was like, because here's why. That was my thought in my head. Yep. I'm a foster kid. I'm not supposed to do much. This is why I'm bad and I'm crazy. And I was like, that sounds disgusting. Is that how I sound? Is that the excuse I stayed out loud? And so it kind of, it rattled me. And I remember going home and I looked in this mirror at one point at 15 years old and I go, Anthony, you're going to be great, man. And it was just this weird, and I'm not even making this up for a story. This really happened. I remember the mirror, the weird wallpaper behind the mirror. It was just this weird moment of I just, for some reason, I was compelled to do this. And I had this look in my own eyes. I looked at my pupils and I committed to myself at a level that I'd never done before. And people go, well, how'd you believe you're going to be great, man? How'd you believe that? I didn't. I had no belief in my ability to be great at the time, guys, just to be transparently honest. But here's what I did know. I knew that if I did nothing, I'd get more of the same. Mm-hmm. That's what I believed. I believed that if I did nothing, stayed the same, I'd have more of the same, and I did not like it. So, well, if I try something different, then maybe I'll get something different. And so I committed to doing things that were way out of character. I had, for example, football was my focus. I wanted to be great at football. For the first time, I was like, I'm going to do this. But I couldn't catch a football. I wasn't strong. I wasn't fast. But I was like, what if people do that are? Well, they catch a football every day. Cool. So I laid on my back. I threw a football in the air 500 times a day. Make my youngest son right now do 200 times a day. He's still figuring out why. I'm going to keep him doing it until he figures out why. Mm-hmm. I would lift weights. No clue what I was doing, but I was out there just I probably should have broke my back a few times. I'm going to lift weights, right? I go to Chichibu Park with Joey Garcia, and we go and throw the football every day, throw the football. And so the thing was, the first month, people make fun of you.
Yep.
They do. Here's why they make fun of you. It's not who you are. You're acting different. Trucks, you got butterfingers. Why are you catching footballs, bro? Hey, you're weak, man. Why are you lifting routes? Hey, you're slow, bro. Or lifting weights. Why you running routes? You're slow, bro. So you get the people poking at you because you're doing things different than what they're normally used to seeing you do. And so you go, oh, I don't want to feel bad and have these people make fun of me. So I'll stop doing it. Right. That's what most people do. And for me at that time, again, I'd been hardened. I'd been calloused. I didn't care what you thought. Like, all right, bro, I'm still going to do it. What, so I would just do it. And the first month it feels super awkward. And then the next month, it feels less awkward. The third month, less awkward. By the seventh month of doing these things, I was a monster. But I want to understand why I was a monster. I had gotten a little bit stronger, but I was still a skinny kid. I'd gotten a little bit faster, but I was still kind of slow. I could catch a football. Wasn't the best in the team, but I could catch a football better. But here was the defining factor, and it happened in what I call defining moments. You will all face defining moments multiple times in your life. And football was blessed with defining moments every time I was out in the field. Here's what the defining moment looks like. The ball is in the air. Whose football is it? In my mind, I had done too much work in the dark for you to take what was mine in the light. It was my football now. I don't care if it's thrown to me. If it's in my direction, it's my football. If you have a football and I'm on defense, you're running towards me, you don't get to run by me. If I'm out there with a football in my hand, you don't get to tackle me. You haven't earned the right to do what you're thinking you're going to do because I did all this preparation. I did the work. And so while I was still kind of slow, wasn't the best, I had this moment where in defining moments, a dog came out of me that you weren't going to be. And that was earned through repetition. And so you say I played football and I played on. The only reason I did is because I went from being this guy that wasn't so good to having a dog in me that found ways to show up, because that transferred to the weight room the next year, to my reading of the playbook, to how I competed. There was something when I got in that line, it was me and the cornerback. Most people, here's what they do. And you guys might have this happen. Somebody gets to a serious moment. They look at you like, hey, Brady, ready to lock in? Let's go to work. And what we do typically, if we're uncomfortable, is we go, and we dissipate the moment. We diminish the seriousness. We laugh it off to take the pressure off. I didn't do that. I go, oh, really? Let's lock in then, bro. Let's go to work. Like I hunker down into it. And when people can go there and I can go deeper than you can go, I win. But I have to earn the right to get my body to that moment from the work I did when you weren't watching in the dark. And that's what propelled me to higher levels later.
Those defining moments. I remember who said it. I wish I could give credit where credit is due, but somebody said something to the effect of most men come upon 6 once in a lifetime moments in their life, and they're usually never ready for any of them, or something to that effect, where you've got some of these defining moments and they don't take advantage of those defining moments. They don't lean in, like you said, to gain that thing that is going to now be able to be taken away, to put that deposit in. They're now going to be able to forever pull back out in all these other scenarios, so you leaned in and you were pulling that out. So that same deposit that you put in and that you're pulling out to become a phenomenal player then takes you on
to do more,
to do more. That's exactly right. And then that has to be part of how it lets you transfer into, starting a business, right? And you had a business that you started and then had to shut down.
Yeah. After the NFL, I didn't have to shut it down. I wanted to, because I wasn't doing as well as I'd like to, but it was, I've had defining moments where I haven't been great. In fact, few people know this. I'm gonna give you guys some insight. There was a moment in time, my final year in the NFL, where I had a shoulder injury and it happened in a game. Now, prior to this game, the NFL is interesting. If you have an injury and you're on the sideline, what they will wait to do is wait for you to get healthy. They'll sometimes film you warming up the first day back from your injury and cut you before practice starts, because they already have a mind to cut you and they're finding a reason to cut you. Does that make sense? Like, it's weird how it works. It's cutthroat business.
Yep.
So I had this situation where we're 3 days out from my first preseason game with the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I had this situation where my low back was bugging me, man. I had to go to the MRI and take a look at it because I couldn't put my shoes on normally. Just, people play through injuries. It's just the nature of the game. And I got to this point where I think I was tired. It was long. It was hard, but I had finally climbed the ranks to be like number 2 behind like Troy Polamalu on the special teams. And Troy ain't running down on kickoffs, dog. Like, it's not what he's doing.
That's right.
So I'm like, cool. And so I thought in my head, like, you know what? I'm hurt, but I'm number 2. I'm gonna take a couple, days to recover my back, and then I'll be able to play in the game and do my thing. And then my agent was like, I wouldn't do it, Trucks. Like if I were you, I would try to practice through it so that when it comes game, you can show up and like you're gonna get a day after the game to recover. I go, nah, man, my back. I want to kill it in this game so you know how good I am. He goes, all right. So I had a moment of choice. Do I do what my agent tells me to do and stick in and practice? And I could probably warm up. It would have been really hard to battle through it, and it would have got better. Just I couldn't have made it worse. Or I go, let me take this little breather and kind of get prepared for the game. So I took the breather, and I remember when I had the day where I didn't go to practice. Another day was because it's 2 days. The second day, the D coordinator said something. I can't remember what it was, but it was like something that made me feel like he wasn't happy that I took those days off. You know what I mean? Like it was like he wasn't. He was pissed. We'll call it. And so, special teams coach too, because they're preparing for a game, and those are the most important times. The 2 days before a game is when it's important, right? So I'm being selfish, thinking of my body, but I'm not helping the team. And so I play in the game. I tear my shoulder in the game, and now what happens is I tore it, but the day after the game, I kind of found out, and so no one was around. The very next meeting of the team is when we actually had this team meeting. I watched film, it was all good, and then I was going to go from that meeting to special teams to the treatment center to get my shoulder looked at because it was bothering me. I didn't know it was tore, I just knew it was bothering me. And so between that meeting and the thing opening up, I get the GM comes up into the room and says, "Hey, Trucks, I need your playbook. We're letting you go." So I say this to say that defining moments are ones that they are in the present and you don't always know them until after. And I go, man, and just listen to this, had I fought through 2 more days, my shoulder would have been torn. And I think I could have played through that season. It would have been tough, but I could have. I would have had to have surgery at the end of the season, we'll call it. And I could have still been playing. But had I fought through those days and I make that team that season, I have a Super Bowl ring right now. 2008, the Pittsburgh Steelers beat the Arizona Cardinals in the Super Bowl. And so the defining moment is one where I go, if only I would, and so they're not always good, but these moments, they do happen. And that's one of the 6 or 7. And they're not always great, but do believe because of that. I function way differently as a grown man now. So the business side of what I do, for example, I just got this reach out from a client of mine as an Amazon executive. In the next stage of our business, we're doing something called dark work experiences. And he reached out and says, "Hey, I need something by the beginning of January to give to my upper, which is a VP at Amazon, for this, this orientation program. It's pretty much called dark work experience for a corporate." I've been talking to him about it. And in my head, I go, yeah, I can put something together. I can tell him to wait until a month later because I'm doing this branding thing with the guy to get it dialed in. And my brain goes, "Nah, dog, think back to the league." I was like, "I got you." So I'm going to have something to him in a week. I don't know what it is just yet, but it'll be late nights. It'll be a lot of talking to my team, talking to people I know in the world to get something out to them that's not ready, but it's going to be as good as humanly possible based on what I know. Because I don't want to have an opportunity be a defining moment where I go, damn, what if I got this in front of Amazon's VP and Amazon said, "Hey, I want the entire company to do this. We're going to sign you for $1 million contract." Like that can go out, right? I think out that way now because these moments are always defining. And I notice that they're defining when my body goes, what's the easier way to do this? My body, not my soul, my body goes, what's the easier way to do this? That's a moment that matters. And so I go, no. Why can't we just go to the hard side? And I go to the hard thing and think of the difficult piece. And that's what leans into the stuff to be able to make the defining moment better for me in the long run.
So good. Yeah, it's the fire, aim, ready.
Yeah.
Yes. And now I'm gonna aim and get ready. It's not this endless. I need all this time and preparation and all that. That's another word for procrastination. That's
it is, baby. Hey, you do it.
That's it, man. That's it.
Lock in. It'll be a lesson. If I do it right, it'll be a lesson. If I do it wrong, it'll be a lesson.
That's exactly right.
I'm not going to wonder what the lesson would have been.
That's exactly right. Because you understand the value of what you said. It's the long-term thinking of that. You are playing chess now when the majority of the world plays checkers.
Yeah.
It is the long tail. It is a long tail game. I love that. Gentlemen, I want you guys to be able to get your questions from Mr. Trucks, and we want to honor his time too. So if you have, that's right, Parker. Yeah, you win or you learn. So if you guys put your hands up, would love for you guys to be able to talk to this gentleman right here.
Micah. It's a cool name. Mike is a cool name. It is. It's in your throat. You can taste it when you say it. Micah. Like it's.
And then this dude's out here in Hawaii too. He's probably just got done surfing or he's about to go surfing.
I tried surfing in Costa Rica. I can get up on the board, but that's about it. I'm not like
as far as it goes.
Carving. Too heavy, bro. Too heavy. The board goes under the water when I press up.
Go ahead, sir.
Just gotta get a little bit bigger board. Come over to Hawaii. I'll help you learn to surf. You show me how to throw a football.
All right. Sounds good.
Thanks for coming on the call today. I really appreciate your time, like spending with us when you could obviously be doing a lot of other things and you choose to be here with us. So I have a few questions.
Yeah.
Because I try to learn something from each mentor a little bit differently. And I read up on your profile a little bit, and you're 39, am I correct?
I am 39, yeah.
You're 39, and you played for Tampa Bay, Washington, Pittsburgh, and you're also like Ninja Warrior and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
How are you able to focus and pivot from so many different careers and like from different teams? Because you changed teams a few times, right?
Yeah.
And that's obviously, this is probably not an easy thing because I'm assuming you would have to move to a different place.
Yep.
To a different team.
Yeah.
Because what I've been told, like growing up and stuff, is life's short. And you find a career, try to make it in life, start a family, and then retire. How are you able to get so many different careers and be successful in so many different teams and then still do Ninja Warrior? And then like now you're 39, which is not old whatsoever.
No.
Right? You're younger than my dad. And then you're able to have all this free time and talking with young men on the podcast all the time.
So I will tell you, this is a phenomenal question. There's a couple layers to it. The first layer to it is when it comes to me jumping around and bouncing around, the idea is that you never go into something and come out with nothing, right? When I go from team to team, I'm learning more about how defenses work. I'm learning more about how coaches work. Even my career now, I fly into places where I know not a soul, and I talk to thousands of people at a time, and then I have friends when I leave. You know, it's just this different. And people go, how do you do these things, right? And the reality is, if I look at it as every ending is the end and I have to start anew, that I'm looking at it completely improper. Because realistically, it's like I built what we call a big tree, an oak tree of football, right? I learned how to do the football thing. I planted a seed, took care of the tree, right? And then I went across the street and said, okay, I want to have a tree of Ninja Warrior, a tree of a marriage. I want to have a tree of, the business. While it's a new tree, I've already grown a big oak tree. I know what it's like to take care of the nutrients and water it and take care of the soil, right? So I take those new lessons and ideas to different parts of life where some people go, I only am going to be good at this because it's all I've done. No. Remember Mr. Miyagi? You guys ever, please tell me you guys understand Mr. Miyagi and the Karate Kid, wax on, wax off, right? It's the same thing, bro. He's like wax on, wax. It's a huge lesson. He's doing wax on, wax off and paint. And all of a sudden, why have I been doing this for so long? And he's like, then he has all these amazing technical skills, right? So it's like one thing helped the other thing. And so that's how I look at my life. And I go, yeah, if I'm not smart about it, I'll go, this is what I do. It's all that I do. And people live life like this as they get older, right? When you're a kid, it's like, you could do anything. And then you go, okay, I'm going to get this job and I'm going to meet this girl. I'm going to go to this town. I'm going to do this thing. And then all you see is this in front of you in life. And I go, I hate living life like this because then it does feel, like you said, fast. And I'm going to tell you about that in a second. I go, I want to see what else is out there. And let me go try things. And then here's the thing where life is short. Life's the longest thing you'll ever do. It's not short.
True story.
But here's the thing. It feels short. There's something called event horizons. I learned this from a buddy of mine named Craig, and it's pretty cool. So there's a movie called Event Horizon. I'm not talking about that movie. If you watch it, it's pretty dark and crazy. Don't go watch it. It's kind of scary. It scares me. But it's weird, right? But here's what an event horizon is. An event horizon is a moment you can think to in time, and you can really anchor down to the feeling of it. And in life, what unfortunately, the majority of people don't do is create more event horizons. So what you mentioned is they got a job and had the kids, and I have all of that, but I have a lot of event horizons. And so what that means is I do a lot of stuff that is very unique in short amounts of time. So I live a lot of life in a little bit of time. And here's why my life feels long from the things you're hearing is because as opposed to going, all right, and it's how the brain works. The brain goes, if I go to the same lake house every summer for the last 10 years, it's hard to think of every individual summer. You think of the summer, but it's like when I was a kid, I went to the lake house every summer. That's done. It's your childhood. It's really it. But if I go, man, I went to the lake house, and then this one year on the way to the lake house, we hit this deer and we carved it up on the side of the road and we, made venison beef jerky. It's an event horizon, right? And then one year we went out there and then we did skydiving and we came down to the water of the lake, and it's an event horizon, right? So in those same moments, I go, what's a unique out of the box thing I can do? And so I take the idea of the fact that I have amazing skill sets developed and hardened in different areas of life that I can apply somewhere else. And then I step into life and go, where can I do something different, cool, out of the box? Like, I don't want to live a life where I go, yeah, the last 5 years feel like one. Because if you do it right, like I could unpack 2023 And I could tell you how my 1 year felt like 5, whereas for most people, 5 feels like 1. So I'm living in a time machine, bro. Like I've stopped time and the speed of what goes on because I'm actively creating, doing. It's because I don't look at life and go, I don't know how to do that, or that's going to be too hard. I go, ooh, what if this is going to be great? What's again, we're going to learn. I don't know half the time, but I know that I'm going to have problems, but I bring me to the problems. I trust me to take care of them, and I find ways to navigate it. And so, yes, I've got kids and I got a wife, and I'm still dad. I'm very present at home. I don't leave very often, but we do a bunch of weird, cool stuff. Matter of fact, in about a month and a half, I'm going to start doing my pilot's license. I'm going to find time to go fly a plane for 60 hours so I could be in the air flying a plane. Like that's going to be an event
Awesome.
horizon.
Yeah.
Right? It's out of the box stuff. Tried surfing. So I've done hang gliding for just random things because why not?
That's right. That's right. What do you think, Micah?
That's so good, because I feel like lots of people get trapped in one mindset. Like, I'm working at McDonald's and I want to be the manager, so I make 18, 15 an hour, but then they don't look anywhere else. And that's and I see what you're talking about is you're using your past experiences to build on a better experience that may come up, or using your knowledge from the past to do things that may be hard from doing. Like, from starting a business from nothing would be hard. But since you did your career and had these tough things, starting a business may have been easier because you had knowledge going into it than you did that some people wouldn't have.
Yes, that's a good way to say it. There's also one thing I'll leave you guys with, because it took me years to figure out. I, for a long time, thought, oh, a job, 9 to 5, ugh, you plebe. Right? I used to think this. My best friend's a police officer. He has 16 years before he retires. The thought of it makes my toes crunch and my butthole pucker. Everything about that. But for him, that gives him peace, and he's happy. And I love that he's happy because of a happy friend. So it took me a while to understand that there's no diminishing of a person's value because they want to be the manager. That's what you want. Totally cool. I love that. If that's what you want. But I don't like someone that goes, I have this job, I hate it. Oh, I hate it. It just sucks. I hate my life, but keeps doing the same job. That person I don't like. And then I'll also say the biggest thing I'll tell you that drives all of this is I'm genuinely curious, and I act on my curiosities. That's the biggest thing. Like I want to find things that are out of the box that look funny. Like the pilot thing is going to be one aspect of what I choose to do. I want to build different brands. I'm going to do real estate with my wife. She just got her license for no reason. So I'm like, I'll get it too. Right. Because it's just a matter of 18 hours. It's really weird. Like it's 18. So then you take a test, and I can take tests and I can start learning about that. And then you start getting a wealth of knowledge. I'm not a jack of all trades, but I have a lot of information that bounces around my head, so I can communicate like this and talk about ideas. But the idea is I think there's a part of us that most people have the curiosity and smash it down. They go, I don't want to, I can't do that. So they feel forced and confined to be in a job that they hate. Whereas for me, I go, if I'm curious and I approach that thing, it's just a matter of time, because if another human being can do it, well, I can do it. Except for being a contortionist or I don't know, driving motorcycles at this point. But if another human being can learn it and do it, I'll learn and do it. I can learn, right? So that curiosity drives me, and that's where I go. So you'll be presented with stuff in life. The world's gonna open up a bunch of weird things, and I go, oh, that's cool. What would it be like to do that? And my brain in the past would go, yeah, but it's not you. Now I go, well, why can't it be me? So I move and I create event horizons.
Thank you so much. That answer was beyond what I was expecting.
Welcome, man.
Yeah, so good. And look, Mike, you can do both simultaneously, man. You can be the manager of and feel like you're going to be the manager of, the owner of, and you're going to do that. And then simultaneously you create those event horizons, and also believe you're going to be solid over there too, right? Because what he's talking about, all these different experiences give you this wisdom, and they're all based on that curiosity. Like he said, you guys, that's a superpower. And then what it ends up doing is it just, not only does it add to the richness of your experience in your life, but it allows you to connect at an even deeper level with everybody you come across, because it is so much easier to find something you connect with people around when you've had all those experiences too. You know, I'll tell you, while I was working at, graduated from college, and I'm working at Abercrombie and Fitch, right? Simultaneously, I'm going, hey, I am going to be the CEO of Abercrombie and Fitch, while I also started fighting in the cage going, hey, I'm going to go to the UFC. I believed both of those at the same time, right? Neither of those happened. But all of the good things that happened because of both of those were because I took them both at the same time going, yeah, man, I'm going to climb to the apogee of both of these things. Right. That's the whole thing, man. Oh, so good.
And start out sucky. You have to start out trash. You just realize Because you should question your greatness in this thing, but never question your ability to get great at a thing.
Bingo. That's exactly it. Parker. Oh, and by the way, Mr. Miyagi, he went to Armio, right? He was in Fairfield.
Did he? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. He's an Armio High School graduate. How about that?
Small world.
That's right. All right, Parker, go ahead, sir.
I have got a couple things here. So first thing I've noticed from when I run a podcast and I had Mr. Beaudreau on recently, and he also mentioned the not knowing what day it is, and I think that ties into doing the hard things. And when we had Mr. Kumalatos on like a year and a half ago, he talked about how every man has an inner fight. And I think all those things tie together. And my question is, because it can be really easy to channel that inner fight to the wrong place. How do you find the right place to channel that inner fight and, reap the rewards of that?
Yeah, I call it dark energy. It's something. So I talk about the shine, right? There's a shine. You got to respect that, because there's certain people that shine, and when they are shining, people go, they feel one of two ways. One way they feel is like, this person, they make me feel bad about myself because I'm not doing that. Let me make them small. So I'll poke at them. Or they go, I want to rise to your level. And that shine I must respect, right? Especially if I want to have something like that. And so that shine, like take the Michael Jordans, Kobe Bryant's, the LeBron James, the basketball world, your Tom Brady's, like these amazing people. In the middle of hard moments, what they do, which it's a positive hard moment. I'll say you should find something that you can be proud of when you accomplish it, right? To know what to channel towards the thing that other people that you respect to be proud of. So I think you direct this towards things that if you succeed in this, people will go, hey, great job. And the people you respect, not just the world, your mom, your dad, your cousins, your friends, the people on this, if you accomplish that, they'll go, hey, great job. And you'll feel proud when they say it. That's where you channel this energy. But the dark energy is something that you watch athletes in the moments of difficulty, of opposition. It's Tom Brady in the fourth quarter down by 21, like the dude just, what he does, he doesn't go to if you look at his face, it's not this, we can do it, guys. Hey, we got this. It's not that. It's this, hey, let's get down. Let's go to work. Hey, buckle up. Hey, let's go. Like there's a darkness that comes out, right? But it's not a bad thing. And I think that there is this world that tells us, men, you're toxic. This masculinity is bad. Don't be that. Don't be too aggressive. And I go, no, but that's what built as countries, what gives us a sense of pride. That's why I can walk in this world with my head held high, because I know I can do hard things. And if I'm needed to protect my family, to protect my beliefs, I can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a phenomenal thing, but that is built by doing stuff that's hard. And it's the battle you're talking about. I battle myself. My son and I were in the garage earlier, and my shoulder sucks. It's why my career ended, right? And he's hanging, doing stuff. He runs track at the University of Oregon right now. So I'm doing his workouts, and I can kind of hang. And then we're actually hanging in my head. I'm going, this hurts, man. I can make a really good excuse that he'll understand that says, your dad's shoulder hurts. I'll find some modification. And that's my battle. And I go, no. I'm not going to die while doing this. It's not going to hurt my shoulder more. It's just going to hurt. Can I endure the pain? So I do it. Now, he'll never know that I'm proud of myself. We just like Dad did a workout, but I know. And so for me, it's how I can hop in this call with you with this sense of confidence, and I can go to this place. Because right now I'm not talking from a place of like, hey guys, joyous, right? I'm talking from that space of dark energy. It's a positive, because it fuels me in times when it's needed. Because most of life, like you said, is a battle. But if I haven't battled, that the whole idea of you want to bleed in battle, or is it, bleed in battle so you don't die in war. I bleed in the battles. I bleed in that war in my mind of, can I get up on time when I said I'm going to get up? Can I eat the food I said I was going to eat? Can I not eat the food I said I wasn't going to eat? Can I be on schedule? Can I be honest with my wife? All these little moments, those are the little battles for most of us every day. And so when I have those battles won, when I've done that, I can show up in the world in a very confident space, knowing that I can walk into any room right this second and nobody will go, I know what you did, Aunt. I know what you did, man. Not a soul can do that to me. I've lived my life so clean that it really unsettles when people try to poke at my integrity, bro. That's the one thing. You want to poke and say I lied or did something? No, I will do things that get me in arguments by being honest. Yep. And so I think what you're talking to, if I can go back to the answer, hopefully I'm getting clear here, is yes, that battle we fight is one that we fight every single day in different ways, but it shows up in the ability for us to live amazing lives.
Powerful.
Wow. That was amazing. You just filled up my entire note sheet in like 30 seconds. That was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much.
Welcome, man.
Well done, sir. Malachi, go ahead, sir.
Beautiful. Thank you, sir, for coming on. I really enjoyed hearing you speak and So I have 2 questions. Is that okay?
Yeah, man. I got time. I got 12 minutes to hang with you guys, and I got to shoot over to Apple and get these headphones figured out. They suck.
All right. So the first one is just a football question. So I haven't played football for a couple years, but those 4 years, 3 or 4 years, I was like super into it. I was doing it all the time. I was practicing all the time. And to me, football is something that's just a different mindset from other sports. Like I do jujitsu now. And to me, when I'm doing jujitsu, it all flows together. And I'm like, I cannot remember what just happened. But when I played football, I remember like the ball's in the air, everything like is tunnel vision.
Yeah.
And that's all, like I can name all the moments from the games. So the first question is just, do you have a favorite moment or a favorite play that you were a part of, and why is it something that you remember so fondly?
Oh man, I got a bunch of plays. I got one. The first initial one that pops in my head, it was my coach. We were playing against Cal my senior year, and I was balling, man. I was leading the Pac-10 at the time in sacks, tackles for loss, forced fumbles, fumbles recovered. I might have been like third or something overall tackles, but I missed a game against USC. And I was balling, and my coach let a chip on my shoulder, and he goes, "Hey, man, I see you doing good, but he said you didn't go out there and sack the quarterback and enforce a fumble and then recover the fumble and run in for a touchdown. So until you do that, man, I'm not going to give you all this disrespect the rest of the world's giving you." Now, it's the way coaches operate. You'll find that men, we challenge each other by like giving you just enough, but not too much, so you don't get all high in your haunches, right? And so I remember this one because I remember we were playing Cal, and I beat the running back on a blitz. And I came around, those guys, Kyle Baller was his name. If you guys remember that quarterback, Kyle Baller. And I sacked him, but in the process, I knocked his right arm down, so I forced a fumble. So I got the sack, forced fumble. I go to the ground, and the ball's there, and my left arm scoops the ball up. And then as I'm laying there, he grabs me and tackles me. And we're about 7 yards from the end zone. And it's hype, man. We're up in arms. I come to the sideline, I'm hype. My coach looks at me and goes, "Yeah, but you didn't score a touchdown." In the middle of the game. And so those are the memories that lock in, because I knew he respected and appreciated what I did. He was happy inside. His linebacker just made a great play, got the turnover, score a touchdown quick. But I think there is that nuance to the game of football where I've done jiu-jitsu. I got a buddy that has a whole academy. He's phenomenal at it. And I love that. It's a chess match, but it's fluid and it flows. And it's almost like it's ethereal. You almost leave your body and you're not actively processing. Football is like, all right, quarterback's there, the ball's here, receiver's there. On this, I do this. On this, I do this. It's like very structured, regimented. I know what I do. Whereas in this flow of jiu-jitsu, like you may be in a position and all of a sudden you feel something, and then without even processing, your body instinctually does this thing, and it's like it's a dance. And this you couldn't have planned it out, like it's just so you do get into a flow, just different. I think that there are 100% different things you learn, because I know that when I'm on a stage, it's like when I'm rolling in jiu-jitsu. I don't do it often. But I'm on a stage, bro, it's out of body. You may think I'm up there talking, and like right now, I don't even know what time it is. I looked at the clock and I'm like, because we just go. And there's this dance and this ebb and this flow. I don't know what questions I'm going to get, but you ask them and I go. Whereas if I'm doing something like a coaching program or back to the game, right? It's a regimen, a structure, a process. I'm predicting what's going to take place. And those are the two differences. So they're both beneficial for life in certain ways. They're also both hard. They're both a physical challenge to both yourself and the person opposite of you. I think the only addition I would look at football having is there's that team dynamic. There's a microcosm of interacting with a coach who's poking you and bugging you, and you have to take feedback and not get mad or hear what he's saying, not how he's saying it, and then teammates to work with that have their own attitudes. Some are prima donnas, some are too crazy, but learning how to have that ebb and flow and create harmony between everybody is a difference there than jiu-jitsu, where it's just me. Besides that, there's a lot of amazing nuances to each that benefit life.
That's super cool to hear, because like I said, I haven't played in a couple years, but I do remember playing. It's such a different thing from any other sport that I've played. Yeah. But as far as the second question, I'll try and keep it quick.
I'll keep it quick.
I know you said you have sons. You say son or sons?
I have 2 boys and a daughter. Yeah, twins that are a boy and a girl, and an oldest son.
Okay. So as far as your sons and daughters go, so what kind of character traits and skills are you looking to be like, okay, when they're 18, like they definitely need to have these things right here?
Can they problem solve in public? That for me bothers me, man. My son, I don't know how to talk to this and do this. I don't care, bro. Go talk to that human being real quick. Because my son, he's off in college now. And there's a time when he was on the phone and I could hear him. Somebody did something. He goes, "Hey, I was standing in line there. Wasn't rude, but he was assertive. And it was like someone was trying to take his spot in line for someone because he was on the phone with me and he held his ground. He didn't tell me, hey, Dad, pause. He just did it. And that was a super proud moment. Doesn't seem like much, but he can hold his space public without father around. Because when you guys go off and be men, I have to look at you as a man at some point. Like, a zombie apocalypse, can I lean on you? Or am I going to be dragging you and helping you? Like it's a difference. Can we work as a team, or am I a team leader and you're just a baby in the background, go hang with your mom? And so for me, skill sets of the men in my life, the boys I have, I need them to not be averse to doing the difficult, small, hard thing. My son last night put together a shoe rack for his mom because she needed shoes for the closet to be cleaned up. And he left all my tools out. So this morning I saw my tools out. I was pissed. I'm like, bro, that's not what we do. Well, I didn't think about it. You can't not think of the small thing. That's a lazy, weak-minded man. You button it up. You finish what you start. It's something small, bro, but it matters. It's the little thing you do that gets you fired or hired. You know, it's these things you don't notice. And so for me, the men is, can they handle themselves in public? Can they do the small, hard thing consistently? And then for me, it's like, when I leave, I tell my boys that when I'm gone for a speech of the man of the house, I need his eyes to look at me and go, got you, Dad. Not go, oh, okay. Like this right here, bro, this gets me sick. Makes my balls tickle. I don't like that. It's like, okay, like that. At this point, right? When he's a kid, I get it. We're now 13. We're aging up. I need to get you dialed in. Hey, you got this? I got it. And so those little moments that they matter to me because they will show up as a man in a man's world in vastly different ways. And realistically, I need to know that when my son finds the woman of his dreams, that she looks at him at some moment in a high pressure situation and he locks in. And in that moment, she'll go, that's my husband. They could be 20 years old, doesn't matter, it could be 25, but there'll be a point in time when somebody says something to them when they're in public or something happens and she feels it. She doesn't even consciously think it, but goes, that's my husband. And that's not going to happen on accident. It'll be happening because I've told my son certain things and test him over time to where, like my son in public, hey, I'm standing in line right there. Because that right there, if it's like him and a girl with him and somebody does something, he can go, hey, I'm standing in line. And she goes, this dude can hold himself in public. He's assertive. Okay, I can have babies with this guy. He'll protect our family.
That's right.
So that's kind of how I look at the men. And then my daughter, I want her to pick somebody that she'll feel comfortable bringing home to me that mimics like things. So if I grill him, she knows he's going to hold his own. That for me matters. And so I do that by having a relationship with her to where she respects the relationship we have. So she wouldn't disrespect me by bringing some punk home.
What do you think, sir?
Thank you, sir. I appreciate your time. I apologize for not
You're good, bro.
Contact.
No, don't apologize.
I'm trying to write everything down, but I appreciate it.
You're good, dude. Don't feel it. I didn't even consider it. We're on Zoom, man. I'm looking at the screen of people and the camera's up here, so it's hard to go back and forth anyways.
Great question, Mr. Duncan. Mr. Steinbach, we have about 3 minutes, sir, and we're gonna respect his time, so we'll make it quick, sir.
Absolutely. So, sir, I'll preface my questions today. Well, I actually, first and foremost, by saying thank you for coming on. I really do appreciate it. And I believe you're an individual I could sit here and just listen to talk for 4 or 5 hours and say, oh my gosh, it's been 4 or 5. It feels like 30 minutes. So I've really enjoyed this. But going through your website and looking about how you talk about shifts, right? Your make shift happen, right?
Yeah.
Every 90 days and talking about shifts and looking about these books, which you prominently display in your studio there. My question to you is, how much of a role has reading played in creating those shifts for you?
Huge, man. Because I think the cool thing about books is the culmination of thoughts from the culmination of thoughts exponentially, right? It's someone saw something, thought of something, consumed something, made a single book out of it. And then someone made that book a collection of multiple books like that. And then they made another single book. It just keeps going up. And so when I read a book, there's like so many things that are like all condensed together to grab this one lesson. I can go, okay, that one thought, it anchors, and then it turns into something I apply later. And then I write a book for a bunch of books and it just keeps on moving. I think we're living in a world where most people, they learn from the wrong sources because everybody has a microphone and not everybody should. And I should have a microphone for certain topics either, right? But everybody nowadays, they want to just be talking to talk. And so they say the most off the wall stuff and it throws our brains places. And so we don't have trusted conceptual minds feeding the minds that are making changes. So I think books are great places because if you grab a book, that's somebody who spent time sitting down, thinking and writing something out. Like they went through a process to make sure it was the best of what they could put together and give out to you in that moment. And if you pick people that you believe in or you believe their thoughts, because some books are great to some and horrible to others, right? The Bible's amazing to some and it's horrible to other people, right? It's just a matter of what you choose. But if you have a belief and direction, getting a book out can help you culminate all these ideas in one spot. But also it helps you filter the poor thoughts.
Mm.
So I know there's books that I've read that I go, that book right there, without that one, this one wouldn't make as much sense, or I would have missed the message it was trying to say here, or this book is stupid. What are they talking about, right? And so you have to have this filter to go to this one, to go to that one, to go to that one. So it's a consistent journey of reading. I got a stack of books you can't see over here. I got books on my desk. And I may not read them straight through. I'll grab little nuggets and just read through stuff. And also because I create content, I make thoughts as a thought leader, right? I can't go off of just my thoughts because I'd be confined to just my life. Mm-hmm. And that'd be a poor ability to create greater thoughts for the rest of people at large. And so I pool thoughts from other books to give thoughts singularly.
Gosh. Understood. Quick follow-up to that. Do you have a favorite book?
I do, man. It's called Identity Shift, written by Anthony Trucks. It's a good book.
That's a great book.
Outside of my book, Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People has always been my go-to. Is one of the first I read that gave me a filter of how to be able to see myself, see the world, and what I consume.
Understood. Thank you, sir.